is it a better team, better than any team he had in Cleveland? Well, then let's compare it to the best Cleveland team. The best Cleveland team was not the team that won the championship in 2016. It was the team that lost to Kevin Durant and Steph Curry in 2017. That team had an all-time offense. In the playoffs, they were 12-1 going into the NBA Finals. It was, if you remember, the Warriors swept through their side of the bracket. The Cavs nearly swept through their side of the bracket. And so is this team better than that Cavs team? I don't think so, as presently constituted, because while that Cavs team didn't have anyone as good as Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving had what I believe to be the best year of his career that year, 25-3-6. Kevin Love should not be forgotten. He was excellent that season, and they had 6 veteran role players in Tristan, J.R. Shump, Korver, R.J., Richard Jefferson, of course, and Channing Frye, that you could all rely on in big spots. And to me, the X factor there is we knew that team had an excellent coach in Ty Lue. We do not know if this Lakers team has an excellent coach or an excellent coaching staff. Now, the potential C for this Lakers team is to be the best team LeBron's been on since those Miami years, because Anthony Davis is the best teammate he's had since the first 2 years with Dwayne Wade, but there's a lot of variables. The coaching is a variable. What the starting lineup's going to be is a variable. What their rotation is a variable. And unlike those Miami or even Cleveland years, you have to include LeBron's health as at least a slight variable. So there is enormous upside with this year's Lakers team, but I don't think you can say it's the best team LeBron's been on in 6 seasons.
Well, this is the thing. What's really important? Is it important that he's as good? Is this the best team he's been on? To me, it's not that important. You know the reason why? Because there is no super team out there. Like, he don't have to beat the Warriors. He doesn't have to go through Clay, KD, and Steph. So what difference does it make? Is this team good enough to be able to win him a championship based on the duos around the league? Yes. This is not the NBA that it's been the last 5 years. So we don't have to worry about that standard. There are things that I would be concerned about, not things that Nick mentioned as far as the coaching staff. All those things, they got credible NBA coaches. They got 3 guys on their coaching staff that have been head coaches. So I'm not going to worry about that. I believe that's going to work itself out. How good are they going to be defensively? And what you mentioned about the Cleveland team was, the thing that was special about the role players were they were more athletic than what the Lakers have right now. But each guy knew what their role was going to be.
Knew their exact role.
And we don't know that with the Lakers. I think one of the things that I would be concerned with is you can't even make these comparisons, LeBron's team, say the Lakers and the Cavs and our Miami, because what LeBron James are we going to get? We just automatically saying that we're going to do. What did LeBron do in those 2017 playoffs? What did he do in the 2016 playoffs? Are we saying right now in July that that's the LeBron that we're going to see? Now, I'm a huge fan of LeBron, but what I had seen him do in the finals, I can't just grant that to him. Do I think he can dominate? Yes. But can he dominate in that fashion? I don't know that. So I believe there's a lot of question marks going forward. But are they as good as anyone else in the NBA? I believe to be yes, and I believe that's the most important question.
We know, at least for the most part, what LeBron will give you. We know, for the most part, barring any injuries, what AD is going to give you. You mentioned a whole list of variables. Is Kyle Kuzma on that list of variables? Is he their number 3? Is he their 3rd best player on that team?
Well, Chris, I know you're very high on Kuz. He has to be the 3rd best scoring option. He has to be your number 3 option offensively. Avery Bradley's not going to be that. You look around the roster and you say, okay, Danny Green, I think, might be their 3rd most important player, but he's not going to be your 3rd leading scorer. Kuzma has to fill the role of 17 to 20 points per game to create. You're right. It's not this NBA it was a few years ago where you have to have 3 superstars to be in the conversation, but he has to be a fringe. Offensively, he needs to be a guy that's not an all-star, but is a well above average starter, a guy who they can rely on to take over for moments. And he and Boogie, when the bench unit's in, because Kuzma, I think, will start, but could be in there with the bench unit, that they can run the offense through either one of those guys when Anthony Davis and LeBron both go to the bench.
Yeah, I believe Kuz's development is vital to what they're trying to do. He's very, very athletic. He should be a better defender than what he is. In two areas that I would want to watch to see, man, is Kuz making those steps? As a defender, is he better? Is he a better individual defender given how athletic he is? And can he just get back to what you and I talked about this morning, to where he was as a rookie, shooting three-pointers, wide open three-pointers. Because he's going to get a lot of looks. LeBron's going to break down the defense. People are going to collapse on AD, and he's going to be wide open. And on those wide open shots, can he shoot a percentage that puts fear into the defense? Because he's going to get a lot of good looks. I thought you did a great job this morning explaining how well he shot the ball as a rookie, and that was surprising. But then this year, given the trade rumors and everything else, is he going to be traded? Are his buddies going to be traded? He went through a slump. Those other guys went through a different type of slump, but his slump was shooting the basketball.
Listen, Kuz shot 30% from three this year after shooting over 37%, I believe, his rookie season, and it was wide open misses. I talked with him about it at the tail end of the season. He didn't have an answer for it. He was in the bottom 10 percentile in the league of all players shooting wide open misses.
Is that generally a confidence thing?
Well, I don't know if it was confidence. I don't know if it was bad luck. I don't know if it's small sample size. Usually it's either you're just a terrible shooter or you're having very bad luck or you're dealing with an injury. He wasn't injured. We know he's not a terrible shooter. That should bounce back, and that has to bounce back because, to your point, he will get more wide open threes this year than last year because of the attention Anthony Davis is going to demand, and because LeBron missed almost 30 games last year. LeBron will generate those open threes. Kuz knows he has to knock those down.
The shooting would have made sense, Jenna, if the 30% would have been in the first year. It would have been like, oh, okay.
Okay.
First year out of college, even though he played several years in college. Then he comes back the second year and shoots the way he did the first year. But no, when you see it going the other way, when you see it going that way, there's more apt to get it corrected compared to if he couldn't shoot at all. So I believe Kuz is one of the wild cards moving forward.
And just real quick, on that point, if they are going to start a center, if they're not going to start LeBron, Anthony Davis, and a center, then Kuzma has to hit threes because you only have two true shooters out there, Danny Green and Kuzma. He's going to have to make them.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.